Добро пожаловать на мой канал. Welcome back, Tarot Maniacs. A little Russian for you at the beginning of this because we're going to be talking about Putin today. There's a lot of Putin news that happened. He's Putin on the Ritz, Greg. No? So it is late night. I had a busy day with a lot of first timers today. I am so glad that some of you have taken advantage of my first timer sale. I had a pretty jam-packed schedule today. Hopefully you guys are going to sign up for tomorrow or Thursday. I still have some time available on both days. Thursday night, like I said earlier, has filled up, unfortunately. So, and my daughter just told me we're going to have to take a cruise by the old high school to pick up some documents for her. So let's talk about Putin. So two things that I want to talk about Putin. So first, the Ukrainian forces shot down a number of helicopters that were carrying American missiles, not my missiles, but American missiles. And he sent a portrait over to Donald Trump. This isn't an unusual thing for him. He has sent portraits and gifts. And Joe Biden got a beautiful enameled writing set. I would love to have a Russian enameled writing set, or anything Russian enameled. And I think that Obama got some service wear, some like tea set or samovar or something like that. So, unusual. Times are heated, but Donald Trump has just been in office for a little while, so on his second tenure. So maybe the timing's okay. Let's see what's going on with Putin. We haven't checked in on him in a while. And I did say in one of my lives that I think Putin's got something up his sleeve. So we're going to check this out. Let's bring up that card view. Before I do that, I want you all to hit that like button and make sure you tickle that algorithm for me. If you're not subscribed, why not? We do all kinds of fun stuff here. We talk about politics. We talk about celebrities. We talk about all kinds of goss. So whether it's historical goss or, present day goss, like we like to do the goss. So let's bring up that card view and let me know what you think. And again, I am going to tell everyone I am not a Putin fan. I do not love Putin. I get in a lot of trouble. I'm just going to read the cards here, boys and girls. Just reading the cards. We're going to clean up this scene. And let's just get a baseline of what is going on with the Putin right now. How's he feeling? Two of Needles. I have two minds. We've got that little bat hanging there, making some decisions. The World in reverse. What is that? It's a snake in the world. World in reverse. So if the Two of Needles is trying to make a decision, that decision is based on him not seeing the end of what he set out to do. This is what I've been concerned about, and this is something that came up in the reading that I did. I believe it was on either Mixtape Monday or one of my lives, but this is something I have some very serious concerns about, because if Putin is on a mission to restore the Russian Empire, to what it was historically, then mission is not accomplished. So we're not going to be satisfied with any kind of peace agreement. I do know that they have agreed upon a sort of ceasefire. I'm not sure what that means. Partial ceasefire, like a ceasefire is a ceasefire. That means we cease firing. Does that mean we keep firing? I don't know. I guess in some weird, crazy world, it does mean that we keep firing. So, we've got this tenuous ceasefire under the surface, 6 of matches. Arrogance. Now, the 6 of matches is success, winning the battle, but not the war, coming home to great excitement, everyone looking for celebration. It is a sign of victory. So when we get that in reverse, we are talking about frustration and unfulfillment again. We're really looking at the mission has not been accomplished. Objective 1 has not been taken. Let's see what is in his present dominant mind. King of Buttons. It's in the upright, which is better, but that does say that he believes that he is in the right and that the actions taken are actions that are well served in his mind. This is things that he believes that he should be doing. What is his suitcase position? The 4 of matches, going back in time and securing celebration, homeland. This is the home card, guys. So it is in the traditional Rider-Waite, we do have the wedding scene with the chuppah, and it is celebration, wedding coming together. This is something in the past, that restoration of those Russian lands. What does this mean? It is in his suitcase position. Does he need to give it up, or does he need to go forth and make that happen? We're going to do one card to clarify. Motivation, 4 of Cups in reverse. 4 of Cups in reverse. We are now moving toward those things that we have manifested, those messages from God, if you will, those messages from our ancestors in our past. We are going to move toward them. So I do think that in that suitcase position, the game is still afoot. I think he still wants to move forward. So let's see what's in the immediate future here. The Empress in reverse. So the Empress in reverse is, think about her as, in the other deck that I have, Pele is represented, not as the Empress, but as another card. And the goddess, Pele? Is it Pele, the volcano goddess, Greg?
Yes.
She...
And soccer god.
She creates and destroys at the same time. The volcano explodes, lands break apart, the foliage and trees will all be destroyed by the flowing lava, but it is creating new islands, new lands. So when our Empress is in reverse, we are not creating new lands. We are not moving into other territories. We are not blossoming out. So I think this is, we are giving up the goals in the immediate future. Reluctantly, so, though. I don't think that this is something like he said, oh, well, no big deal. We let it go. I don't think we get that kind of an attitude from him. What I think we get is, well, for the sake of peace, I will stop. I've said this time and time again that Putin is a masterful player here. I've said that he really knows how to play the game, and that while Biden was not seen as a worthy adversary, Trump is. I think he enjoys the game with Trump. He enjoys having a world leader that he can banter and debate and negotiate with, or litigate. JD Vance likes that word, litigate. So I do think that there is an element of Donald Trump is a worthy adversary. So I'm going to have to listen to some of this. So how does he see himself? 9 of Cups. He's still getting what he wants. That's our wish come true card. That is manifestation manifested. How does he see others? Page of Buttons. He is going to give a little bit of my love for you. He's going to give a little bit to Ukraine. He's going to give a little bit to the world. So he's going to do that. They should be happy with what they have. They can work on their own little piece of land. So, pardon my silly Boris accent. Hopes and fears. Page of Needles. His fear is that the adversaries in Ukraine will try and recreate or even out that battle. I think he's like, we pushed to this point. We're going to stay here. So, this is the overview of this. And the end result, the 5 of Cups, you win some, you lose some. He's not going to be happy about it. But I do think that we are going to get to a point where he concedes to some arrangement. So let's talk about these helicopters, because I'm going to say something. I'd be kind of mad if I were him, because they boom, 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 took those right out of the sky. Boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you go boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you go way-o. Sing it, guys. Way-o. So how does Putin feel about those helicopters? I remembered my Charlemagne. There were birds in the sky. I can't remember the quote that he did. Do you know that, Greg? I suddenly remembered my Charlemagne.
You've seen CD's glitter off the shoulder of Orion?
No. It was Sean Connery in Indiana Jones. When he chook, got all the birds off the beach and they took the plane down.
I was quoting Roy Batty.
Oh, well, we're not on the same page.
No.
So, Pootie and the helicopters. Pootie and the blowfish. That's pretty funny. I just said Pootie and the blowfish. So, under the surface, he is livid about these helicopters. Livid, guys. That is a livid card. And it's right next to the night of matches. There's going to be retribution for this. I am recording this at 9:59 on March 29th, 2025, New York time zone. I don't know if anything's happened, but he is furious and he wants to react to this. It is now officially 10 o'clock. My alarm is going off on my phone. So very, very angry about this, but we're not going to see it right away, because here he's going to go, no big deal. It's not a big deal. They took down our helicopters. I feel bad for the men that were lost, men and women that were lost. But we got more. We got more. Why do we got more? This 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords is, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. They took down the helicopters. Guess what? Putin's going to show up with something else. So not surprised that he's going to do that. 7 of Buttons. The response is going to be greater than the initial attack. And he's going to show everyone who is the Emperor, which is curious because the Emperor card comes up. The Tsar, traditionally in Russia, is an emperor because he is the Tsar over, he is the leader over many, many cultures, many lands, many kingdoms. And just to give you a little bit of information, the Tsar is actually considered, there's a bit of popeism thrown in there, even though there's no pope. There's Patriarch, who represented the Orthodox Church that served in court, in the imperial court. But the Tsar was actually considered a conduit to God. The Tsar was someone who the people could pray to, and God would respond in kind. So the Tsar is given that position by the grace of God. The Tsar is empowered with the wisdom and spirituality of God. So it's a very different kind of royal family that they had. Is very different from the British royal family, even though King Charles II or King Charles III and the late Queen Elizabeth II and everyone prior to that were heads of the king of the Church of England. It doesn't have the same kind of really spiritual connection that the Tsar did. Vladimir Putin is a religious man. He does adhere to the Orthodox faith. Some say there is some anti-Semitism in the country. We're not going to go off on that because that's a whole road that we'll have to walk down. And I just don't want this video to be 27 hours long. But I think it's curious that the emperor comes up here and it is in the face of losing these helicopters. These are very, very strong cards. My readers out there, you tell me what you think. These are very strong cards. King of Cups, 10 of Needles in reverse, 7 of Buttons. That's not the strongest card in the world, but Emperor and the Knight of Matches, 10 of Cups over here, and the Wheel of Fortune. In his mind, the Wheel of Fortune is still that end game, making a success out of this campaign. Losing these helicopters is almost something that he wanted to happen, because now is he going to turn and justify his response? Let's take a look. The Star. I think this is going to be a gentleman's kind of loss here. I think he is going to be disappointed. The Star, that's very upsetting. I thought that we were paring down the war, but instead, this is dialed up. I think he will, for a moment, be the better man, and then I think something is up his sleeve. So will he retaliate? I want one card to find out if Putin is going to retaliate. Going to retaliate. Temperance, yeah, it's in reverse. We are looking at a response, so we're gonna have to keep eyes on that. I'm gonna have to watch the news after this. I got to answer a couple more clients, a couple more emails. Where does this take the war? Fool, we are at a new threshold. Ooh, 9 of Matches. Yikes. This takes us, it's weird. It takes us into a new level of the war, a new beginning in the Ukrainian-Russian war. I think that's what we're officially calling it. Takes us into a new level, but it's almost like it takes us into a new level of standstill. Takes us into this moment where all parties are kind of holding back. And I do think that Ukraine, Zelensky is like, I don't know what's coming at us. I think we have a bit of that. And then 5 of Buttons. 5 of Buttons. 5 of Pentacles. This is not being on the inside, not having the resources. In the traditional reading, it's purposely giving up the resources for it, but in this is just not having the resources to match what's coming down the pipe. So, switch gears, because we're still going to be talking about the Russian-Ukrainian war until they get that ceasefire. But I am going to make a prediction right now. Here's my prediction. Even if we get a ceasefire, I do think that is going to be a simmering kettle over there. I don't think The conflict is going to be over. I think it's like a fight that you break up in a bar and the two guys are still staring at each other across the bar. They're still eyeballing each other. I don't think that we're going to see this done until one of these men are gone. I know there's more players to this than just the two men, but Zelensky and Putin. But I do think we're not going to see the end of this until one of them is annihilated. Sorry, I'm just putting it that way. So, coughing, coughing. Let's talk about Trump's gift from Putin. So, I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, now he's getting gifts from Putin. So, the article that I read, there were a number of gifts that were given over. So, to various presidents and various peoples. So, let's see. Why now? Why at this minute? What was that all about? Why at this minute? Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups, this is a goodwill kind of handing over, but you guys know the Seven of Cups, I like to read that as gaslighting. Thank you to Tarot by Andy for changing my opinion of that card. This is a little bit of goodwill gaslighting. We are kind of forking it over. So what did Trump really think? What did Trump really think? So I don't think Trump liked the portrait. He said it was lovely, but I think that was a PR move. I'm going out on a limb. I'm saying I don't think he liked it. If you need to, actually, I'll put the picture in the thumbnail, so you guys will. If you haven't seen it, go back and look at the thumbnail. But Seven of Matches, this is really trying to have that good equilibrium between the two parties. Have that quell the chaos between the two parties, meaning Trump and Putin trying to clear the noise out of the room, I think is really what we are looking at here. Now, when we talk about sevens and fives are both places of chaos, places of conflict, instability, that kind of business. So we are trying to really make things, chill things out for negotiation. We are just trying to make things as easy as possible and as pleasant as possible. This is like making up your guest room, making it nice and cozy for someone. This was a goodwill measure to make it nice and cozy. We are just trying to make things. So just trying to warm up what's going on. Little shoulder massage. How did Pootie feel about Trump's response? The unknown, divine faith, the world. These are all. And then we got the Knight of Cups. The unknown 22nd card in the Madame Clara 5 cent tarot is a unique card. And this is divine faith, throwing it out there, seeing what comes back, having ultimate trust. The world, this is completion, new beginning. I want you to know we're buddies. Here's a beautiful portrait. Trump didn't think it was so beautiful, but let's move forward. I want you to know this is not something hokey and in love, this Knight of Cups. not hokey, not in love. I'm just sending this over to you and do what you will. This is something I do. I do nice things. So, is there a hidden meaning behind this portrait going to Trump? Is there something hidden about it? Seven of matches, five of matches. There we go. And nine of cups. Once again, I shuffled these cards, guys. The devil in reverse and the nine of matches. Top. I mean, hidden messages here. And I think that Putin is a master of hidden messages. I think he's a master of manipulation and convincing people to do what he wants or needs them to do. I think this is intended to show him as a softer individual. I really wonder if they're going to say that Putin actually painted it himself. Like, I don't know why, but I'm getting that sense. I'm getting the sense that either Putin painted it himself and it's signed by somebody else, or there's something secret about this painting. Is there something secret about this painting? Knight of matches. Three of needles. Something weird about this, guys. Like, I don't know what it is. Ace of buttons. It's not a painting. It's not just a painting. Four of cups. This was a way to get around it. Ooh, big yawn, guys. All right, so what's going to be the outcome of this painting? We're going to have to do an examination of this painting a little bit later when I'm not yawning my head off. It's going to be the outcome of this piece painting. The Fool, seven of buttons. So the flash and dash of negotiations is going to slow down. So that's one of the things that we're going to see. We're not going to see this excitable, uncontrollable moving into the future, maybe paring down those emotional outbursts. Seven of buttons, we are getting back to basics. Now we're starting to get our bearings and decide where we're going to go. This doesn't mean that we're anchored. It doesn't mean that we are really solidly in like an eight of pentacles or eight of buttons, but we're kind of drifting into that. You know, do we get to it? No, it's not guaranteed. Temperance. This is negotiation. That is the negotiation of peace between Russia and Ukraine. So are we going to get there? Is it a tool that's going to influence Trump? I don't think so. Was it a gesture on Putin's part to play polite society and see if we could, you know, get a little love for giving a painting? Yeah. So interesting stuff. I think what is more interesting is what we have seen from the helicopter. I thought there was going to be more interesting stuff from the portrait, but I do think we need to look at the portrait a little bit more and dissect that. So I think I might have to do that this weekend. So I think you guys will get that. But I feel like there's something more to this painting. There's something more to it. It's not just a painting. It's not just a painting. So I hope you guys like this. I know it was I kind of drifted off on the painting thing, but I hope you like this. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think is going to be the turnout from the helicopter debacle. That, was something that none of us really, I thought it was a ceasefire. Are we still, shooting down helicopters in a peacefire? I don't know. Peacefire, peacefire. I just made up a word, Greg.
Oh, we're doing it.
But peacefire, not ceasefire, peacefire.
Well, that's exactly what happened.
It was a peacefire. So I don't know. We didn't have our spring solstice peacefire, by the way. We forgot. How did we forget?
Well, it was my mother's birthday.
I know, but we could have still had it the next day. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you guys had a good spring solstice. My hair is crazy. I'm actually, I've got to do a little bit more work, and then I may get on the treadmill, but I may not because I've got to get up so early. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Again, don't forget, take advantage of my first timer sale. If you've never had a reading with me, you cannot beat this price. It is cheaper than my members only discount. It is cheaper than my Facebook moms group discount. What?
Crazy Anna's prices are insane.
Crazy Anna's prices are insane. No, $88. You get an hour with me. Super awesome. Link is down below. Hope to see some of you before Thursday is done. I will see you guys in the future.